Welcome everybody to another Voice of Nick show. We're doing more of our Posthomerica illustrations. We're going to work on, I guess we're kind of done with Neoptolemus for now, so we'll move on to something else. We might change the design. I kind of like this better now that I'm looking at it, you know, with a little bit of distance between. We could also do some stuff like adding the same pattern to his shield rim and possibly to his greaves or whatever you call the thing for his legs, just so that it kind of makes that pattern feel like it's part of his armor design. Because yeah, this especially, as much as I do like this design, well, let's use it in a bag of tricks. We'll create a little bag of tricks for this. We're gonna copy this. We'll just paste it and put it up here. I don't think there's a way to actually put stuff in a... Let's do this. We're gonna turn these off and put them in a bag of tricks of their own. So now, let's delete. First of all, let's put this, merge this onto the layer. We'll delete this old one. Merge this. Oh, this is the version that has the old design. Let's just take one more look at that before we throw it out. Yeah, I think it's probably best that we just keep this one. We could always redo that design if we want to do it later. So we'll just put this kind of jewel encrusted thing on his armor here. Maybe that'll be like a little design. So it'll be kind of like a V shape if you're looking at the greave from the front. Yeah, that's probably all we need for that. Maybe a shape like this instead. And we could have it ridged so that it shows up sort of sticking out like that. Yeah, all right, well, I guess that's what we got. I don't dislike it. I don't think that's a glowing review, really, but you know, we'll save the rest of the designing for the later part. You know, I really don't like that, though. I don't like this sticking out like that, which means that maybe we shouldn't do that for the greaves either, or the whatever. I gotta look up, just so I know. Greaves, piece of armor used to protect the shin. Okay, so now I can finally, with certainty, call these greaves. Okay. Good. Now we're going to move on. We don't need this one anymore. I guess we'll do Priam next, who's standing here. He's going to have to get bigger because Neoptolemus got bigger. Every figure is probably going to have to get larger. Okay, I have a couple references that I pulled. Let's turn off our guides for this. Somehow there's a mark up here. And I want to see if we can achieve an effect of him having like white hair just by not coloring in his beard. I'm not really sure if that's going to work though, because I don't see it occur very often. If they're going to have white hair, they actually color in the beard with white, but that doesn't really fit the style that we're doing. We want to give him some kind of, you know, royal mien. So we're going to give him this garland or whatever you call this. Actually, I want this to go further forward. Yeah, more like that. And then it kind of just dies into nothingness, I guess. Okay. They don't really depict facial expressions on Greek pottery. They always look sort of neutral. But I think we should at least make him not look like he's smiling. He's about to be mercilessly slaughtered. He sort of looks like Dennis Hopper from Apocalypse Now. Or Dennis Hopper as he appears in Apocalypse Now, I should say. Okay. There's something going on over here. We're gonna wanna make his face a little smaller. So, I'm wondering if we want to give him a sort of like more like he's crawling away. Because what I'm doing is this, which almost looks kind of casual. Yeah, what if instead of this, it was like either this or, no, that's, let's try both. So I want to see what it looks like if he's sort of, maybe he's kind of like sticking his other arm a little bit more like that. No, it's not expressive enough. Let's take a look at some of our references. Maybe if he's raising his arm like really high. And if we lost this hand, I liked how it was gripping on the surface there. Let's move this. Maybe like if he's doing sort of oh, maybe he's kind of, yeah, like this, like he's like being knocked over, sort of. Maybe his legs are coming in front of the thing. Let's take a look at that. And this is like a cloak thing that he would have been wearing. I guess. I don't know if I'm gonna have him wear this or not, but let's just assume he is. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So this leg actually being hanging in midair kind of works, I think. Hold on. Okay, so we got that. Then this is getting where we want it to be now. Plot King, welcome to the show. Oh, you saw the new Uncharted movies. Thought it was pretty good. Nice. I'm glad that you liked it. I haven't seen it yet. Good stuff. So let's try to really capture how he is sitting. Let's do a duplicate of this, and instead of what we have, we'll try one. I don't want to do too much of the pose that Paris already has in our other picture, but let's just give this a shot. See what it looks like. No, I don't like that. So we'll go with this, but we want to refine it a little bit. Maybe he's hugging the wall here, or the pillar or whatever, which I don't think would really happen in Greek art, but here we got, it's his left arm, so he'd be doing this. What if this leg was going like this? Now I think that's, let's take a look at our old one. Yeah, I think this is a lot better. It looks like he's trying to crawl away. So maybe let's make it even more dynamic by we'll bend it even further. yeah, I think that's pretty good. So he's gonna have, let's see, maybe he's got like a drapery of some kind. Like that. I'm not sure if that's really gonna read when we have the picture, but it's like around his arm or something. Great. Let's just do a quick thing for the background, I guess. Okay, so what this is doing is essentially like this. We don't need to make this look correct now because we're just laying out where the stuff is going to be for later. The big problem I can foresee here is that AIAS is totally intersecting with Priam now, because I thought Priam was only going to be in this front part of the building. So that's a major flaw in the composition at the moment. We don't have a solution for it yet, but we'll see what we can do. If we can make Aeneas take up less space, or we might end up, Aeneas is like the first thing to go. If we can't find a solution to the other characters, and Aeneas removal would solve it, then we would take out Aeneas. Okay. So we got that. Let's take these for now and just move them over. And later we'll, hopefully be able to move them back. All right, so now let's try and do AIAS. I don't really have a design for AIAS, I just... Okay. Okay, this is cool. We've never depicted AIAS before, so we can kind of do whatever we want with him. I would like for him to be holding a knife. I like it coming out this way, but I think it's just gonna be, it won't work with the composition, so we'll have to come up with a new pose for him. We need to make his whole frame larger too, so it looks like he has a giant arm right now, but we want all of his limbs to be as big as that. Hold on. Okay. The more vertical space we can squeeze out of this thing, the better. So if this helmet goes up higher than before, that's good. So let's take him, move him up. I want to be able to preserve the pose that Cassandra has, but the more we're doing here, the more it's becoming evident that we're going to run out of space, so we really gotta, you know, be careful of that. He's got a really cool kind of flowing robe costume on in this one picture. It's not a picture of AIAS. I don't know who it's supposed to be depicting, but it's really cool, so I'm using it for AIAS. And his stance that I'm looking at is very strange, or it's like a very wide stance. He's got his feet are going two directions like this. Now, I don't love this pose. It's almost like a Naked Snake in Metal Gear Solid 3. It's like a CQC pose. I don't think it makes sense for... If he was in this pose, this hand would be empty, and this hand would be holding the knife, like, you know, CQC style. But I don't think it works. So let's try and come up with a better pose. This was my original pose for him. But you can see it's totally intersecting with Priam's head now, which is taking away from that picture. So let's instead maybe it's as simple as just pointing the knife forwards instead of backwards. If we do that, though, we gotta cut this and put it on its own layer because it's totally blocked. Our guide layers are starting to get in our way now because we drew so much on the guide layer. So this is a little closer. I think he's kind of like surprised by the fact that Cassandra's fighting, and you know, he's like, whoa, you know, and now he's got his knife out. I think that makes a little more sense. Let's make him a tiny bit smaller, though. Oh, we can also merge these layers now. Oh, no, not like that. We want to go like this. See, this AIAS figure is looking less and less. Although, now that we change the pose so that nothing intersects with Priam, we can actually move Priam and Neoptolemus back over to the right for now, which does give us more space. Now we're back where we were. We probably could fit AIAS at this point. The question is, once we put this Pallas Athene and Cassandra in here, is it still going to be, you know, possible? So let's see here. How can we do the Athena statue in an interesting way. There's one picture that I keep coming back to where it's like, it's a picture of Thetis taking, or rather Peleus taking Thetis as a bride, and Thetis is like the paint all chipped off, and you can't see, you know, any features on her. It's just like a totally, if you imagine the figure just being filled with white and there's no details. And I think that's a really cool visual concept. So maybe we can do something like that. The only problem is like if it's, you know, if it's too distracting. Yeah, it probably will be. Also, I don't like this helmet for Athena. Let's give her instead maybe like a normal Greek style helmet, or Spartan, whatever. Her head is like way smaller than the helmet here. I don't know what kind of hair I would really give to Athena, but maybe let's just like put it out the back like that. For now, at least. And I mean, other than her weapons and her shield and stuff, I'm not sure what else she would really be typically portrayed with. But we'll focus on this for now, I guess. I'm not sure what we're going for with that yet. Maybe some kind of male. Athena is usually portrayed as like totally armor clad. Like head to toe. Alright, let's get the contours in here. And let's give her some kind of belt thing, maybe. And it would be interesting if we could portray it somehow that the statue is like watching him or something. I'm not sure how we would do that, really. Because the idea here is that because he committed an atrocity specifically like right on top of the statue of Athena, while the Trojans, they're killing all the Trojans and stuff. Because he did that right there, Athena big time punishes the Greeks, and in the next chapter causes it so that all of the Greeks are sort of like completely sacked or like just destroyed by a giant bunch of waves and stuff as they attempt to leave the city. So we want to, it definitely is important, it's an important plot point in this chapter to show. And I think if we could somehow, maybe if we like painted the statue a little darker than everybody else, then it would be clear that it's not like a character, but rather just a statue. I don't know. I think even if it appears like a character, it wouldn't be the biggest problem. Also, the fact that it's just standing there while they're fighting, maybe that kind of indicates like it's not really a living person. What else we want to do here? Let me get some more Athena reference. I don't know, maybe this would be like, there'd be some kind of pattern on this. I don't know what that's going to be yet, really. It should look more armor-like than clothing-like. And I think this looks a little too much like clothing. Maybe you should have some like chainmail aspects to it. We'll do that when we design it for real. But for now, let's just get a couple more things in there. Do we want a shield on her? I guess we could put a shield. We're not going to see it anyway, because by this point, Cassandra's going to be standing, Oh crap, is this all on? This is on AIAS's layer. Let's get this off of here. Yeah, Cassandra's going to be standing right in front of that part, so it doesn't really matter. In terms of like what we put there, but we should have something figured out. I guess we can line this up based on where we put the jewels. I'll have to look up some of every Greek god usually has like kind of like iconic imagery associated with them. Like you'd see like a certain type of bird for Aphrodite, and you know, other types of birds for Zeus, and everybody has like their own things that show up in the scene usually if it's like representing them. Like for the chapter with Philoctetes, when Eris or Strife showed up, the apple of discord was in her hand, and like that's a, you know, classic thing that you would show for her. And we'll have to see if there's anything we can do for Athena that's besides just what we're already showing. Oops. All right, so we got 4 figures in here. It's going to be nice once we can turn off the guides, because it's really starting to get crowded with all this stuff. And you can see that we're not even following them in a lot of places too, because we're changing so much about the composition. So that'll be nice. But for now, we need them just to see what we're doing. Good. Ladies and gents, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you for joining the show. The channel is called The Voice of Nick. If you want to see more, don't forget to hit the follow button.